Hey there, I'm Yang, and today we're gonna go over how to draw heads easily. Make sure you stay until the end so you can get a bonus tip on how to make interesting characters. When searching how to draw the head, you can find some pretty difficult explanations with lots of measuring, and that's not necessary. So today I'm gonna teach you a quick and easy way to draw the head so you can instantly improve your art. Let's go! To simplify the head, you gotta learn to see it as a three-dimensional object. If you just memorize some guidelines to a flat surface, then you won't be able to rotate it and make it in different angles. What do we do to see it in 3D? Well, we're gonna simplify it the most. We're gonna see it as a box. What? A box? Yes, the head is like a box, and I'm gonna prove it to you now. Okay, let's take this one as an example. Here, everything here is a side plane. Then here we have the top, and here is the front. So if we want to simplify it, we gotta just find these planes. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just a general idea. And how do you know where the side begins? Well, the cheekbone here is the most important landmark, as well as this, which is called the superior temporal line. All of this is gonna be side, and here is front. And the hairline will separate the top. Okay? Now, let's practice this with all of these different references. Attention, you have to practice with me because just looking at it won't be enough. In a couple of hours, you're gonna have forgotten it. So let's do it together, okay? This one is simple. He's basically just looking front. You can see a little bit of the side, but not a lot. Yeah, tiny bit of the top. And we have him. You see, it doesn't have to be the perfect box. It's just to teach you to see 3D. The second one here, well, it's actually the third. It's gonna be also, here's the front, side, and top. So, side and top. This one, the side profile, is easy as well. It's just the box. You can see anything on it. Oh, this one is gonna be complex. Look. Well, maybe not as much. We have it kinda like this. So, because of this angle, we can see here the bottom of her jaw. So we can see a little bit of the bottom of the box. So, let's do it together here. This was too narrow. Head is a little bit wider. It's almost squarish. It's almost, but it isn't. Yeah. Okay, so remember that this is the side and this is the back, and when we're simplifying as it's just a box, we can't really see anything from the front because there's no appendix here, like the nose. And then this one, this here is the side. And this is just, see, look how squarish the head is. From this box here now, we can carve the part where it's just the brain from the jaw. And let me show you in this one here that is on side profile. You can see it's like two boxes now, one like this and one like this. And so let's carve it out, and we can do it to all of them if it applies, like here. Now we have the box and the jaw. This one is here and here. Boom. Okay, this one is gonna be more complex, so we carve here, then we have kind of the bottom that's separated like this. all of this will disappear because now we have 2 boxes. And then this one, oops. Let's pretend we can see. Alright, we have our boxes, but how do we turn them into more elaborate portraits and make heads with a defined jaw, an ear, and things like that? We'll see that next, but first you gotta give this video a like so I know that this is useful content and YouTube can show it to other people. Let's go! We're gonna use a modified Loomis method, and for that we start drawing a sphere. It's not a circle, it is 3D like everything we draw, and it has a direction. Let me show you. First we make the circle, and then you add a vertical line that is going to represent the center line of the face, this here. So let's add this line. This simple center line is going to guide where the mouth and nose and eyes and all of the features go. Now we're going to cut the sides of this sphere, and it's going to start looking more like the box we began with. And it's to represent that this side here, it's pretty flat. So we make a cut as if we had some ball and cut part of it. This cut we did, which is leaving a little bit of space above and below, it's gonna help us find the hairline and the nose. So we're already starting to be able to make the face. The next step is you divide the cut in 4 pieces. And now look what we have. We have the hairline here, the brow, and the nose. Ta-da! And then all that's left is adding the jaw. And for that you see what is this distance and this distance and replicate it here. Ta-da! And then you connect it in this triangular shape and make it a head. Ta-da! Isn't it wonderful? Oh, by the way, for the ear, you just add it to this quadrant here. It's bottom and further away from the face. So it's gonna be like this. Okay, now we have the head. This may seem like it's a lot of steps, but you're only gonna feel that in the beginning because you're gonna have to keep checking and reminding yourself of what the process is. But with time it's gonna become really natural and you won't even need to think about it. And sometimes you can just skip it because you already know how to draw this specific angle. Now let's practice making this simplified head with all of these references we have here. Number 1 is this. We make the sphere, add a center line, cut the side. This one we can see cuts on both sides because he's basically facing us straight from. We have here, here, and here. And then 1, 2, 3, the jaw. And add his ear. For this boy here, well, I think we mostly did it already. Maybe he's not facing, his head isn't tilted down enough, so let's remake it. Make, oops, the oval again, the sphere, which it doesn't have to be perfect. You can see like this is pointier and here is not, but it doesn't matter. Just a general idea. Now the center line, the cut, so he's kind of facing downward, so let's make it all in this angle, facing down. And 1, 2, 3. You can see I sometimes forget to follow the process because I'm already used to making it my own way. But okay, let's do it again. So 1, 2, 3, and then we divide it into 4s and make the jaw. Ta-da! Now he's kind of facing down. Now for this lady, oh, this lady is gonna be interesting, it's more different. So we have the circle, the cut is around here, like in the middle really, and then divide it into 4, make this ear here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I didn't make her looking up, so let's redo it. What made this angle be wrong was this horizontal line here, so let's, well, and the vertical one as well. It should be more tilted like this, and now she can't help, she has to look up. Right? Cool. Now for the hard one, this is our challenge for this video. It's gonna be this lady here. We have the cut, divided into 4s, considering the tilt. If we want to start actually in the more realistic shapes, then we make this cut here as well, because the back of the cranium has this angle to it. So yeah, now we have her. Let's go to this lady now. Oops. Her center line is very close to being completely to the side here, but it's not, so we gotta consider it so we can add this tiny amount of her other side. We're getting close to the end. Now this lady tilting her back, we can see the top here, so it means that she's looking down. So, oops, sorry. Let's start with a cut. That was a terrible sphere I did. A cut, divide it into quarters, like so. Are you drawing along? You need to be drawing along, okay? Whenever I draw something, you need to look at the reference and make your version of it. So you can learn by practicing, not just looking. This one, there's not even a lot we can do. It's just this. Oh, and his ears. Well, maybe I made his head too short. Ta-da! Now we have a bunch of heads in many angles. And since you stayed with me until now, I'm gonna give you a bonus tip so your characters look more interesting. Because if you always follow this model, then all of your characters are gonna have the same face. So how do we change that? Let's go over it again. Let's take this guy. He has such a squarish face. And what we're gonna do is, we have the model, right? The Loomis and all. And then we see what makes this guy a little bit different. In this case, I think this angle makes the most difference. And now he has a squarish face. Okay, now this lady here, you can see her chin is a little small, her jaw is soft. So let's add that. Let's make this difference. It's here, we make a slightly smaller chin, softer jaw, and we have it. See, it isn't so hard. If you practice this, you'll never have same face syndrome again. That was cool and all, now you know how to draw the head, but this is not enough to know how to make a good portrait. And if you want to know how to place the nose correctly, you watch this next video here. See you there! Bye bye!